Wait, we have a guest?
Hey, we have an
Holy
Hello.
shit! We got a guest.
Hey, man.
Merry Christmas! Merry.
Happy
Oh.
holidays.
So,
Happy holidays, man.
I'm
Welcome to the
so sorry.
podcast.
Sobrang sorry.
Huh? No, it's okay.
that's cool, dude.
Problem.
It's
No problem.
this
We're
is
doing
this
a
is
strict English policy.
no, not really.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Not really. X was like Tagaloging us the whole time last
Yeah.
time. There was a little bit of Cebuano with Joel, so that's fine. I suppose this is
This is part 2 of Bodega.
This is so embarrassing. I'm really, really sorry, guys.
It's alright, man.
No
It's like-
problem.
It's gonna be like video or podcast number 2.
yeah.
Yeah. So
This
guys,
is
welcome,
cool.
our friend Ian. He is also from the university. Fun fact: I first met Ian exactly 10 years ago when we were starting to do practice for Servant of Two Masters.
Wow, really?
Ah,
Back
yes,
then,
you're a servant for
right?
Master.
Like,
before.
November 22nd. Like
Down to the minute.
Around this time, because
Like,
like
Exactly 10 minutes.
exactly
10
10
years
in the
ago.
evening.
Nalala ko pa kasi yung Christmas time, ano na tayo eh, practices na eh.
This is I have no idea what Martin is doing, but like every week he's been bringing in people that like I have so much respect for, like the Kangkong Jam, like the Kangkong Jam people. I'm like, what are you doing to me, man?
So the next for
Are you
your
are you
birthday,
trying
I
to
think-
are you trying to highlight my inadequacies by bringing like amazing people?
No, man.
It's like it's
No,
the
no.
kind
It's the only way you can fight your awesome video setup.
Yeah.
Yo.
we're calling these guestings the Kang cameos, man.
Cameos, I love it.
Cameos.
I mean, come on, Jao. If I had a plan about the guesting, your favorite caster might be the next guest next week, right? Who knows?
I would love that, but you know, whatever. Anyway,
I
for the
don't think
people
so,
that don't know,
because-
Ian is the dude that taught me everything I know about how
No,
to.
I don't think so, man.
who taught me everything I know
You knew
about how to
quite
like,
a
speed
lot.
up my life.
You knew quite a lot coming.
The formative years from Jao.
Yeah, formative.
Yeah, dude, these are
Ian's,
anyway.
Like, yeah. Ian's my favorite co-actor. I mean, I loved acting with him as Pantalone, and he's the Truffaldino of the cast.
Yeah. We had
that
fun,
sounds
though.
Oh my god, we had fun.
Yeah, that's probably the best, well, the most fun play that I was in the university.
I mean, coming off from one of my worst performances in 2010, I am so happy for Servant of Two Masters. It saved my ass. So thank you, Ian. Thank you, X. Thank you, JJ.
Oh, si X.
Di ba, parang, oh my god.
Oh, you
I don't
should
think
have
anybody
JJ on
memorized their lines there.
JJ's our co-director. Oh yeah, nobody memorized our
Nobody,
lines.
nobody really got to memorize. You know, you should,
So I worked.
you should get Cheska, man.
Yeah, actually, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys know Cheska? Jao? I only
Yeah,
know
Jao knows
Cheska,
Cheska.
but I don't have her Facebook.
No, we were
I
in.
think she's busy.
She was with us, right, in that day.
Oh, but have you been
Yeah.
interacting with her? Last time I did, she
Yeah.
was still hosting a radio show with my friend. But I don't think
yeah,
she's
she
hosting
does.
that radio show anymore.
We might have to pay a talent fee for that guest.
Medyo mahirap yun, wag na lang.
Like other
We want
friends
guests.
that we may
Our
have
not
encountered
free.
before.
Our Patreon is not that level yet. Which, if you're
Yes.
listening, is on channel14.com. We are on YouTube and Spotify. Follow the thing. You know what to do.
And we might just get Cheska and what was her name?
Please join our Patreon so we can pay this person's
Kelly.
PF.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
Oh shit, I can just FB. Yeah, let's try to FB.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
her
yeah.
FB. Fuck. Screw that. We got her FB. I'll try that.
This is
That's easy. It's easy.
Hello,
Hey, so
welcome
who's
to
this?
Bodega Nights, scheduling our guests edition. Like,
This is really cool, man.
I know.
Bodega
I'm so
Nights.
glad
You
you,
know,
said
I've always-
yes.
No, I've always heard about Bodega Nights, but I never got to see it. You know, never-
Oh, thank God. You have no expectation
Oh my
whatsoever.
god. The reputation's better than the actual show.
I know.
Marketing team's amazing.
yeah, that's one
We
of
tell
the
so
things.
many lies. People think we get funding.
We don't. No. This is funding from 3 years ago. It just worked. Thank you, patrons. Thank you. As in, like, I remember one time we had.
And that's why we need your Patreon cash to help support Martin's internet.
Martin's internet.
Now we have.
Boost Martin's signal in Brazil money.
What?
I do like how he's just happy now in frozen space.
Now we need it again. Now we need.
Like every time Martin's internet gets choppy, he's like smiling or something. It's so amazing. Like the rest of us, whenever our internet screws up, we have like whatever fish, and
Yeah,
Martin is
yeah,
always
yeah.
like,
He's always so cheerful. Oh gosh.
we should
I
get
thought
Steph
John
Sol.
was here.
Steph Sol.
Yeah,
Steph
Steph
Sol.
Sol.
We should get Steph Sol on here.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember
Yet
that
more
fun.
talent fee I'm hearing.
Just Ian, how's
Who
life?
are these
man?
actors and actresses that we
I've
getting?
been seeing you.
Sorry.
Again
Martin?
with the jolly face, dude. It's like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
The person leading this podcast is
How talent field staff. Let's get Jolo. PC.
I just love how he sounds like a really bad AI right now.
it's like this is the most crucial part, Martin.
Hello, humans. How are you? Yes. Welcome to show.
God damn.
So Ian, how
What the
has the
hell's going
pandemic?
on?
Yeah. Go
Freaking
Norm. Go Norm.
It's been like 8 months. It's almost December.
Mm.
How are you?
I'm actually I like this more than normal life. Actually, I
Really?
like
Oh,
I like the whole staying at home thing and
The
you know,
introvert
no-
is thriving.
the introvert is thriving and I don't need to interact anymore with people. COVID has given me the perfect
there. This is why we're friends, right? This is why we're friends because I'm
Because
one
we
of
don't
those like
interact.
I'm one of those freaks that absolutely loves this whole like COVID thing going on as
I
well.
love how
Right.
Martin's not on his
The
phone.
whole like
I don't
lockdowns. You
yeah.
know?
Your phone
Yeah.
camera is so much better than
much
your
better.
other camera.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this camera is like 5 years ago. So this is actually HD. Hey guys.
Why
Hey,
use your
no-
phone as the camera?
Why don't you just use your phone? Dude, buy a tripod. It doesn't cost that much. Right? And then just
Yeah,
use
it's
your
just-
phone.
Let me try this then. Does it
So
automatically?
don't point at your junk.
We're keeping it a kid-friendly environment.
We're
I
keeping
know,
this about as
I know.
PG as we can get it.
Yeah.
But
Pero
Modern
Ian was
day
telling us
PG, not
about-
old school PG. We'll never get old school PG. Old school PG was crazy.
oh, that was really violent.
So,
Because
Ian,
I was
how's life?
rewatching the Animaniacs from the 90s, and
Yeah.
God, some of that is insane.
Mm.
Why?
Yep.
It's like
Anime.
just like the wheel of morality. And our lesson for the day is: if at first you don't succeed, blame your parents. Like, what? This is a kid show. Like,
I mean, this from the era of Ren and Stimpy and all the other things, so I'm
Right,
not too
right,
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the Animaniacs, they were always the super edgy cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fairness to all of them, like they kind of push the limits. Like we're a kids show, but we're gonna make jokes for your parents as well, so they have fun.
Alright.
That type of situation where it's a show that if you rewatch the stuff, you realize I never saw this joke before because of my innocent children ears. Now listen back, oh, that's what that meant.
I was gonna say with Zhao's logic before about blaming your parents and whatnot, and saying it kind of makes sense. But this is a kid's show when I was a kid, so I guess there's some
The kid's like,
brainwashing involved
that's
there.
funny. Being an older person.
Wait.
Stop telling me truth. Stop judging me. Show.
This is too harsh for kids. They don't need to know.
They need to think that we know everything. We know nothing. When you become an adult, you just hope there's an adult. You're adult.
Yeah, speaking of Animaniacs. and
There, that's
adults,
it. Martin is inviting the adultier adults that I interacted with.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, John. Yeah. I am the adult here, adult.
Kaya pala, in-invite ko si Ian. I was
That's
about
where
to
we
invite
are.
when I found out, oh snap, it's too late to invite him tonight. baka next week. So
We can only take so much awesomeness on one podcast at a time.
also music people, we can only have 2 per episode.
Yeah.
Too much if it's 3.
That's why Ian and
We
Greg
might need to drag cheese
Yeah.
in just to make it less awesome.
Oh my god,
Greg,
jeez,
enter
man.
next- Yeah.
Oh my
I-
god.
If the 4 of us can agree to have cheese on soon, I can totally just have him on.
Is this
Wait,
this
so
the
you
part of the
guys
podcast
haven't-
that I'm gonna edit out? Or what?
No. Keep it in. Keep this in. Cheese, if you're watching, hi. We're inviting you to a Sunday night Zoom.
Also, check out
It's
Patreon.
it's also like a way for us to lure in Mike. Maybe Mike will reply.
Mike! Oh
So
my
we're
God, I
just
miss
using
Mike.
cheese as mic bait.
Yeah, dude, I really miss Mike as
Basically,
well.
It's Mike based.
I miss Mike. He's an awesome guy.
Oh, man.
Wait, so I have a question. I always thought that John was part of Bodega Nights.
He is, but
He is.
Never
the internet sucks. I kept asking, hey, can you join in?
Oh,
No,
Martin judging people's internet, huh?
I know, right? But he kept saying he can't make it. So,
Mr. 70 milliseconds ping.
yeah, my 300 plus ping.
Wait, you're at 300 already? Last I remember you were like
If
70,
if his internet can do a Zoom call, his internet is good enough.
I know, and he's active in Overmind stuff. Can we just drag his ass to Overmind HQ and have him zoom there? It's just like 5 minutes walking distance.
I can't drag his ass to Overmind.
All right, just drag his ass there to Overmind.
I don't know. You guys probably succeed. It doesn't.
And you're like his boss, right?
Yes, you're his
No,
boss.
not really.
You can
not
boss him
really.
around.
Nobody's,
This is-
nobody's really boss.
This is a very Martin. This is a very roundabout way to get to peer pressure John into the podcast. Like invite all of his bosses one at a time. Like John,
We
you're
need
the
to have a
only one who
discussion.
hasn't gone on the podcast.
Hey, if we
Everybody
do
else-
that, he might mistake it for a Zoom meeting and join us.
Yeah.
it's an over my Zoom meeting. Guys, why are we recording this?
So Zoom meeting, we just pop in. Haha, Bodega
Where's
Nights.
it recorded?
Surprise.
Surprise.
Why don't you guys have invite girls? I'm pretty sure that
We
would
don't have that money.
The only girl I
that
could
would
invite-
skew the odds in your favor vis-a-vis John.
Ian, but the problem is the girls I could invite are the philosophical girls that he doesn't like. Philosophically
He
speaking.
doesn't like.
That's why we should
Philosophy.
invite them.
Uh,
No,
wait,
Get him
wait,
to come
it
on. That way.
doesn't, ba? It doesn't, ba?
Oh god, if he has an Alex Jones breakdown, it'd be awesome.
It's like a Tinder box that you just kind of like light
Oh,
open.
yeah.
You don't even have to talk. We're just kind of waiting for John and the girl to fight it off.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's a podcast on its own. Like
Oh,
sandwiches,
Get
go.
popcorn.
I've seen that happen. And it's so entertaining. One of my friends one time, before COVID, he invited like the girl he was seeing during the time, and super millennial girl, super.
Ay, pucha.
Oh, grabe.
I
It
can
was
invite a lot.
fireworks, man. And she was talking to us about this new form of music called electro.
Isn't that like a guy? Isn't that a villain Spider-Man or something?
I have no idea what it is.
Girl.
When he was trying to explain, I was like, isn't that electronic music? Like usual electronic music, like the stuff that's been there since the 80s, But, she was trying to, I don't know, I think she thought it was different or something. And, like John and her got so into it, and it was so, good old days.
Hey,
John
You guys
versus the
want-
world. I'd watch that podcast.
yeah. We could lure
John
in with a
Wars.
girl, but not that kind of girl he likes.
But then if we're not gonna
I miss-
if we're not gonna get him on the podcast, by being nice and getting people that he likes on here, get people that he hates.
Yeah.
Let's get Frankie. Just kidding.
Is this the part that I'm supposed to edit
Oh.
out?
Wait,
Yes.
which,
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Because they have a
Uh,
podcast too.
Ooh.
wait, I have to.
I have a censor button here that probably won't work. Oop,
Yeah.
that's the wrong one.
Ooh.
Is
That's
it,
the right
is it
trigger
really the
warning.
wrong one?
The right one I have is a noise thing, but I don't think you guys hear it because I have the wrong audio
Yeah.
setup for this.
It's like
I know.
everybody
I have,
in this
like, all the
pandemic
weird
is slowly building their own streaming setups.
Well, if you
Yeah.
do Zoom, you're kind of having a streaming setup.
Like
It
my
just
friend
ranges
Joe-
from
Whoa.
crap to
Whoa,
awesome.
whoa.
Wait, what is this?
I like this
Sorry.
Among Us shit.
Hold on. See,
What is this magic?
What is that?
It's one of those things, yes. I have to learn how to do that. Is that as a
Ian,
OBS
I got
thing or what?
So,
Yeah, it's
Ian, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah,
When did you and Zhao meet?
a
Just
long
wonder, guys.
time ago, man.
a long time ago.
A long
yeah.
time ago. And
Is
then
it
he went
pre-UAP?
home to Cebu.
Yeah, man.
Aw.
Yeah,
And you didn't
that's
go
good.
home to Iloilo.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh. Oh.
I did it.
Oh.
I like that narrative. Like we met and then he went home to Cebu.
Cebu, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, the first thing he did was
Right.
left as soon as he could.
Yeah.
See, I am now going to go to a different island away from you.
Mm.
Hi. Nope.
Because
I was there though recently, and I think John and I met up and I was there. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years
Okay.
ago or something. 3
Yeah.
years
yeah, I remember that.
ago. Yeah.
Life before the
Remember-
pandemic.
Yeah, life before the
Life
pandemic.
before the pandemic.
When you could
So,
hold hands
what
and
does
do
Bodega
kumbaya.
think about the pandemic?
Ah, that's the earlier section.
Yeah, we just did that.
like-
Yeah, it's just like-
Oh, I'm
Time.
sorry.
That's fine. This is
No, wait, what? That's a good question though. What have you been doing, Ian, like during the pandemic? Because I've been seeing you guest sometimes kay X or sa Overmind.
Yeah, well,
Stuff.
people ask me, if they don't have anybody to invite now, they usually
You're the
Where
backup
you
guy.
go? So you're the backup guy.
We
Yeah,
need
I'm
a
the
seat
backup guy.
filler.
I'm
Can you
the
come
backup
on
guy.
in?
I think I've done that
So
twice.
you're the red
already.
of that group.
So that and a lot of I don't know, man. I really like this whole pandemic thing. I think this year I've done so. Yeah,
Okay.
I've gone through so many changes that it's good changes, I would think, and it's working for me.
Actually, yeah, you
the
don't
pandemic.
have your mustache anymore.
Yeah.
That makes,
well,
it seems to be there.
I don't think
it's
that's
there. But
that's not. Those are
Yeah.
changes I was talking about. But yeah.
yeah, because last
Hair
time
loss.
we met,
Hair
it was in I think the birthday of our friend's daughter, and you still had the stash.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah.
I'll always not have a full stash. It's always there. I always have
Mm.
the wharf.
Is it?
My God.
It's the Chinese blood within you, my friend.
The funny thing is I have none of those in me. I'm Malaysian. That's it.
Okay.
Another A.
Well, it is November, so
what's it?
Yeah.
But I can really see where Ian is coming from though, because like,
Yes, he's coming from his computer.
he's coming from his computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean like, because if it wasn't for the pandemic,
We
We
would've
want to
done
hit
it.
episode
like-
100.
yeah, God knows
Yeah.
what the next time I would see you guys are, right? Like because
Yeah.
I know.
I'm back to Cebu, so
We wouldn't hit episode 69.
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently,
But
we already did.
Rico lives like 30 minutes that way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 minutes if you're being really like chill with it.
Yeah, lives pretty close by, but that, yeah, and like teaching online is a lot more fun because you don't have to worry about students in front of you.
Yeah, but how is
Ants.
that? Isn't it harder then? A little bit harder teaching online.
Okay lang. I mean,
I mean, look at Zhao's baller setup. He looks professional. He
Yeah.
looks
with
like
a
he's getting
Japanese
paid.
wave.
Wait, so what mic is that? What condenser? Is that a condenser mic? Okay, that's a
Yeah.
condenser mic. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Which one is that?
It is a Mickle MMUS 100. It
Oh.
isn't very expensive, so
How is it though? Is it? Yeah, it sounds good.
it's all right. I mean, it's not
It records.
yeah, it records. Do you still have your what was the mic that you used? An Audio Technica 20.
Yeah,
20. You
yeah,
still-
I actually
yeah.
do. Yeah, right here.
It's right
above
there.
me.
I'm not using
Yeah.
it right now.
Yeah, I'm not. But it's right here, and I just got it back from Javi because he was Yeah, he borrowed
Yeah.
it a bit. Yeah.
Wow, that has seen some action. My
Yeah, man,
1820
look at
is
it.
not yet scratched up like that.
And this one has been used and abused, you know.
Yep.
So
It's seen some things. It's listened to some stuff.
it still works really well,
I
though.
remember. I remember using it for one of the Christmas albums. I borrowed it.
Yeah.
I borrowed it from you in 2010. It might have been.
Mhm.
Wow.
So it's
Oh,
it's
wait.
really old,
that
man.
long. Yeah.
Way past the
Bodega
warranty.
albums. One of my favorite opening lines of a song is like, "This is a song X wrote long ago. Then Ian said, the lyrics have got to go." It's awful. It's awful.
It's good that you stopped there because we might have been copyrighted by Jao for
Yeah.
DMCH
further.
The YouTube bot. Danger! Danger! Copyright detected.
That,
Must
ours.
destroy.
that song that song that we wrote with X many years ago.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right? The one that like we wrote a bunch of X wrote a bunch of lyrics too, and you were all like, dude, those lyrics are terrible.
Melody's good though.
Those lyrics, man, they tear my soul apart, and not in a good way.
They make me
Like
cry.
it was it was a very dark time in the group.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know,
it was.
It was a very dark time, but some of us saw the humor in it, and there was that as the song that came out of that dark time, and
Not the darkest song that you made.
well, the darkest song that I made was
Very
I don't
catchy.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
The
it
JJ song.
Yep.
because these days that's the type of thing that gets you canceled.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's why a lot has
Hey, he has the norm effect where his skin disappears.
How does this? This doesn't really work
What are you
well, though.
talking about? Holy smokes, yes.
Oh, you should see Norm. I love how Norm shores because he just like becomes cloaked.
Mine works way too well.
I think my head is
Yours
too
doesn't-
shiny.
yours works so well in the weirdest way. It just decides must delete skin. That's
Yeah.
Norm's. It's just deleting skin. Everything else stays.
That is so strange, man.
It's my party trick.
Mine is just removing the background I have behind me,
Yeah.
and which is not done via the Zoom thing. That's done via another software.
But then going back to Ian's question about teaching online, it's good for the kids that might not be that weren't super engaged back in the day. The shyer kids, because I like to use the chat as a way that they can sort of
Oh,
express their
shy.
ideas.
yeah.
Okay, I really miss there's like the Shire kids, like hobbits or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Shire
That's what I thought about. That's the
Like
first thing I
Shire
thought
kids,
about
like,
as well.
Right.
Shire, like,
So the
Hobbits
Bilbos,
is
so true.
They are
Bilbos,
shy.
the Samwise,
The shy.
Ganges,
They are
yeah, they're very
shy, huh?
they're very shy. They don't want to
Shy.
leave.
Good
They don't want to leave
morning,
the shy.
issues.
Right. But yeah, those kids when they take to the chat, like it's easier for some of them to express themselves. And the kids that are going to be engaged are engaged anyway, so it feels like it's easier to get another group of people. And I get to do stuff like, oh wow, that was a really good answer to the question, like
Oh, perfect.
so
I'm just imagining you say like, "I'm sorry, but that question, that answer is wrong," and somebody just goes to the chat, haha, wrecked.
like I actually do have kids that do that sometimes, and it's amazing. I love it. They drop memes in the chat and everything. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, and they get to watch they get to go through the material again as many times as they want.
True.
So it makes it easier, or it makes it easier for me to have lectures because I can give it to them ahead of time, and if you don't get it, watch it again, ask me questions before we get into the actual lecture. And when the actual lecture comes, it just becomes a matter of asking questions and trying to deepen their knowledge and understanding of a particular topic. But
Mm.
it isn't it isn't as difficult for somebody that's more comfortable with the internet as a medium,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
so for the kids that speak internet, it's amazing.
But for the
Do
older
they
people
press
in Zoom, it gets a
chat?
little difficult.
Like I guess the teachers, it's harder for the teachers, probably not easier for
Yeah.
the students.
I guess like the more senior teachers who have never gone through the systems is like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What is a May?
What is it, Mimi?
Maybe.
It really depends
Ano pong
on
meme? Ano pong meme?
your age, I guess. Diba? Yung parang,
Yes.
did you really grow up as as somebody who's used to the internet as a professor, or
Yeah, like some of the
Not.
older teachers are having a little bit
Wait,
difficulty.
but you guys, hello. Yeah.
Yes.
We hear you. You're just not moving. You don't have the Martin face though, but it's still pretty chill.
I don't see Ian at all.
Ooh.
I'm losing
Hey.
Martin now.
What? What?
no, me?
No way. This is data.
There.
I'm using my data. What the hell? Really?
Sorry.
There we go.
There,
Okay, there we go.
Whoa,
You know,
second
I-
angle.
I-
That's so cool.
I have 2 internet providers, man.
You switch to the other one.
Yeah, so I just switch.
I have 2 internet providers. They use
The
the same
modern
infrastructure
solution.
though, so it's not great.
That's
2
actually good
ISPs,
though.
1 infrastructure.
That's what that's how they recommend. That's what they recommend us to do. So that if one provider goes down, we just switch to the other.
Yeah. Redundancy.
Yeah.
So how many ISPs do you have? Yes.
Yeah, because internet is so cheap.
Uh,
Well, I
okay,
got
that's
the
not a good
basic.
Martin face.
Like two basic
Yeah.
plans, yeah. And it works quite well. Like,
That's
nakakapanood ako 4K. Parang okay siya.
Mm. But it's
That's cool.
I don't know. I guess I'm also kind of lucky though, because the school that I teach at gave us an internet allowance,
That's really nice.
right? So that's pretty cool. I mean, it isn't enough to cover like a super high speed connection, but like it's good enough, I guess.
Right.
It's there. You have one.
It's there.
Yeah, but it still feels like, but then it's less than the across the board increase that we otherwise would have gotten had we not gone into like lockdowns.
Ah.
Okay.
But
Sure.
and it's not, and it's something that they can take away at any time, whereas like
The
the
good
across
boss,
the board,
the good boss giveth, and the good boss taketh away.
whereas the across the board increases, it's something that they can just take away like straight up. So they're like, instead of
I'm
giving
actually
you an across
shocked
the
that the
board
ISPs are
Smart
not
move.
providing more plans now. Like
Actually.
short-term plans. I'm surprised that no one has gone to like, hey, we know you can't do a 3-year plan. Here's a special 6-month plan that might be more expensive, but you're just locked in for 6 months or 1 year. Surprised no one's gone through that yet.
They're offering prepaid, which is the least committal. Like, if you just got like 500 pesos, that's
True,
it.
but if you
Make
can
it
get
last
that
however
freaking
long.
weird router thing, because like here, that weird prepaid, which is just an oversized dongle, is out of stock for the last
Dong.
3 months. Yes.
You said
Why is it called a
dong.
dongle, really? I hate how that's the thing.
Dongle.
But yes, the router that's just an oversized dongle, which uses LTE or something.
Okay.
It's the way you say dongle that's funny.
How do you
Yes.
say dongle?
Yeah.
Not with the elongated dongle.
That's
So it's a dongle.
elongated dongles are great. They get the most reception.
It's a size
has
that
no
matters.
connectivity.
Apparently, it gets more signal that way.
That's how you get deeper into internet.
Yeah. And there
Mature
goes
stream.
our PG-13 rating.
There you go.
Oh no, I think the humor's still within it.
Adult Swim.
Adult
Uh,
Swim.
But yeah, I kind of
Oh,
wish the
man.
ICs kind of up their game by providing better plans, more options to people.
Ah.
But it's kind of like same old, same old.
Yeah, but this you know what? That's the thing. I one of the few things I like about Duterte, because he's calling them out, man. The companies, like he's saying, you guys better fix these.
I kind of wish they made the permits less for the towers, though. That one probably would be great. I think it's still stuck at 25 permits per tower,
Dang.
which is insane. I heard like, wow, no wonder you guys can't make stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to make a building and just like stick the tower in there. Is that the South Tower? No, it's just building.
It's just everything inside is an antenna.
What's that? It's a router.
It's like you just built a box on a tower on an antenna, and that's like, nope, it's a building.
What is that?
Totally
It's not a cell tower. No. It's a building
Hey,
with
I
very
suppose-
well designed infrastructure.
The thing sticking out on top is a lightning rod.
I
It's just a
suppose this is
massive
the
rock.
outrage section now, where we start talking about politics and complain about the speed of the internet in the Philippines.
I
So
mean,
what do you guys
I-
usually talk about here?
This is about par for the. This
Everyone
is
says
about
it.
par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we sprinkle in
Um,
other things. But yeah, to me,
yes.
I guess here I really can't complain about speed, but I would like more of it.
Again, it's not
say.
the speed of the internet that's a big problem in the Philippines. It's the price,
It's the price. Yeah. The price is insane.
right? Your
And the
price
customer
per-
service is questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like your price per megabit is terrible. That ratio.
Oh, absolutely.
So
We sh-
you know.
yeah, something, somebody should really do something about that. That's the first thing they should fix, actually.
Mm.
The
And the thing
whole-
is, like, you think with two ISPs they would like compete and make better, but it just feels like I feel like you're in bed with each other in this way to make
Yeah,
sure.
they
that-
probably are. They probably are.
So having a third party in here that just will not play by their rules would be great. Just at least shaking up the price structure.
Like
Well,
China?
Sun did that.
Look,
Sun
if they're
did
gonna
that.
if they're gonna allow me to pay half the price for what I'm paying right now, sure, they can like sprinkle
Yeah.
their like thing right there.
yeah, I mean, as Ian was saying though, Sun did do that, and
Yeah.
it was really good for SMS.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's how we,
then-
that's how we became like the texting capital of the universe or something, right? Because
Yep.
of the stuff that Sun did to
Anti-text.
bring down prices of everything. So,
I remember those.
but then they
It
were bought out.
disappeared,
And whatnot.
right?
Yep.
They got absorbed.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
smart. So yeah, I think the answer really is, like government stepping in, controlling, like I don't know,
But
like
some people would also
yeah,
hate that, right?
socialism. Right? Yeah, socialism and stuff like that.
This is This is one of those things that this is why part of why I'm so mad at the administration of Arroyo, because she
Mm.
absolutely botched that
ZTE?
the ZTE deal. Yeah, because that would have laid the groundwork
Uh,
for a government ISP. If
You know what?
Wait,
the only
this
thing
is
that
different from
we
the San
got from
Miguel
that is-
thing, right?
This was the ZTE broadband, whatever. That
Ah.
thing
the one that happened in Wak Wak. Joe, the
Yeah,
only
this
thing
is-
we got was Ben's Burger out of that. Ben's Burger.
Let me break out the whiskey because this has become Tito hour.
It's near over now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Norm.
No,
But I
it's
miss you,
fine.
man. I miss you.
I miss you guys. No, this is fine. It's just like we're talking about politics and internal politics for companies, and this is like I can't believe we're having this discussion at this age. Like
I know, right?
it crept up on me. Like we're here now.
Right, yeah.
But now it gives me
Tesla now
Tesla.
included in the S&P 500, right? So like
Nice.
I'm more surprised that there's Teslas in Manila. I'm like, what the hell do you guys charge?
the
Oh
charging
yeah,
station.
yeah, yeah. That's
No.
actually a good point. Yeah, it's
It's
not
weird,
so.
but it's there.
They
man.
buy one of those power banks and just stick in their car. This is gonna give you another couple feet.
Hey, you got really big ass power banks now, man. Like, really, really
I mean, if you think about the Tesla, is just a big mobile power bank.
yeah.
They're not wrong. There's a battery inside. It charges
Just
your
imagine
phone.
someone just pulls it out like that's a small USB cable. Like, there we go, charging my car.
Yeah.
Well, the more sustainable model seems to be there's that Chinese car company again with the Chinese, no? This Chinese car company called NIO, and
Mhm,
the thing that they're doing is battery as a service
mhm.
or something like that, where instead of charging up your car, you take your battery to a shop, or you take your car to a shop and they just swap the battery.
I
So
mean,
you,
that sounds like what I used to do with my Nokia. I'll be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like you pay a monthly fee or whatever for being able to just show up at a quote gas station and they just
I
switch
feel
out
like
the
that's how
battery.
they reverse engineer Tesla batteries. Yes, yes, yes. Hold this battery first.
They
Learn their
probably
way.
did.
Yeah, they probably did.
They
When
probably did. Yeah.
when Tesla opened that gigafactory in Shanghai, right? Like, or when they're going to open that gigafactory in Shanghai, but um, I think that's like a more sort of sustainable model for the Philippines if we go with like electric vehicles, because the thing that made Tesla work was that there's just way too much parking in the U.S.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Also,
Right.
just on the line of Tesla here, I'm still assuming that the reason they're going to Mars is once all those big ass ion batteries in the cars just like mess up, they're like, you can't touch me. I'm a
So
Martian
Norm
now.
did bring out the Scotch whiskey.
Oh.
Now we're not PG. Well, no,
You know
we're still
what? I'll
PG
join
until you
Norway.
drink it on stream.
we're
Then it's a
putting-
hit.
We're getting in the mood.
I'll be
It's
right
time
back.
for Radio Norm.
We're getting in the mood. Martin breaks out the apple juice.
Hold on.
It
I
looks
think
like
I have
whiskey
calamansi
in
juice.
in the right glass. Apple juice looks like whiskey in the right glass.
I'm on
Cheers, gents.
antibiotics, so I can't join you.
Never mind.
Oh, that's-
I ran out of juice.
How long you been on antibiotics? Cheers, man.
This is the first antibiotic I'm taking that's 10 days.
But
I'm
for
on my
what,
seventh.
man?
He was
Sinusitis.
sick last week.
Ah.
So pretty
Can't be
much
too
my
careful.
face was pain.
Oh my god.
Like longest time,
Sinusitis,
like I'd have to be much
antibiotics.
wearing this while using the computer, but right now I'm not because with the whole light setup, all you see is reflection of everything.
Oh, so now you're choosing being blinded by the lights versus
Yes.
But
My
wait,
eyes are kind of sensitive. Turn on all the lights.
I have a question though. Like
Okay.
antibiotics for
Sinusitis.
sinusitis,
Yes.
like
It's an
decongestant,
infection.
but decongestant didn't hack it.
No, it's a reinfection. That's why it's just causing massive pains.
Oh.
It's prescribed by a doctor. It's not like I just go like, give me all your antibiotics.
Yeah.
Give me your medicine. Show me the power of science.
can't be
Science.
too careful these days.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Don't worry, I don't have the coof.
You're the
Yeah.
only one who calls it that.
The coof.
Oh,
The coof.
oh, someone's coming back.
Millennial
Yeah.
Titos drink San Miguel.
Dear.
Well,
Always the rebel,
Yeah.
Joe. Always the rebel.
always
In
well.
fairness, I do have 2 beers over there, but one looks like it expired 3 years ago, so I probably shouldn't drink it.
I have water there, but
Isn't
I
it
don't want to drink it. I might pee.
Isn't alcohol getting older make it better?
Or
Why?
vinegar.
So expiry date is just like an encouragement.
It's how they make sure you buy again. It's like, oh, you
Yeah.
better drink this now. We need your sales, damn it.
If you go past the expiry date, you'll get drunker.
They're like, look, we need to make them drink. How do we trick them? Like, this stuff doesn't expire. Well, if we tell them it does, so they have to drink it to come back. Like, damn it, dude. You are going to be like employee of the month forever. Guys, it expires. Make them come back. It's like the Tonka toys, the one like the original ones that last forever. It's like, we sold the best toy ever. Dear God, they're giving it to their grandchildren. We need to mess something up just a little bit.
And that's where we slide into planned obsolescence.
What?
Just like the Tonka, like the latest Tonka diecast
Oh my
stuff.
God, the
It's nice, but
Tonka.
all the hinges are plastic. On metal diecast, they choose plastic hinges. So I see what's up. I see what's up here.
They need to keep making money, so they're gonna sell you hinges that are all
Now,
still
once that thing
plastic.
breaks, you can't fix that, so you're just gonna buy a new one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or 3D print new hinges.
Mm-mm.
Oh god, 3D printers. I love how much they've improved during the pandemic.
You know,
Now,
that's the one thing I didn't I kind of thought that would jump in popularity during the pandemic, like 3D printing. Like everybody would be printing their own stuff.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, if they had money, yes.
Yeah, and then
Just
I
ended
realized how much does a
Yeah.
3D printer cost?
We just
They're
ended
really
up
cheap
buying
now.
all
Like
of our
you can
stuff
get
from like
pretty
Lazada.
solid one for like 20K.
Actually, but I don't
But
know.
I mean, my 3D printed friends, I have not seen it in like 7 months because we just pretty much have it forever lent out to people just making all the PPEs and stuff.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the that things. Yeah.
Instead of
Yep.
instead of 3D printing stuff, we just order it from like Shopee.
Lazada.
Shopee and Lazada. I
Yeah.
could print you, or
Like,
I could
why?
buy this.
Yeah, it's like I could print a bottle opener, or I could just get one in Lazada for like
for like
50.
Delivered
20
in like a
pesos
couple.
or something.
I'm just waiting though for like the metal 3D printers to be like actually affordable and not cost like a Miata.
Mm.
Metal
That'd
3D
be
printers?
awesome. Yeah, they're
that
metal
one,
3D
that one
printers.
I'd get into. That one I'd get
Yeah.
into because I wanted to. I've been wanting to print hinges for the longest time.
Why?
You know, for like wood.
Okay.
You know, like making shit. You know, like wood and stuff. And that's a new thing now. They 3D print the hinges, so you don't even have to screw or glue or you just sort of connect the wood together, and it's pretty cool. It looks nice. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's,
you know,
it's, yeah, it's just
I
one-
can imagine like the detail that you would need to,
Right. Yeah.
instead of like
yeah.
having to, you know,
Right. Yeah. And some of them they print these hinges that are very very close to like the Japanese hinges, the
Oh,
ones that look
yeah.
like puzzle boxes.
yeah,
Oh,
those,
yeah.
those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
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 Place.
Yeah, so they're sort of cool. They're cool that way, So
That's neat.
yeah, yeah, it is. So yeah, the metal thing gets
See?
cheap enough, probably.
See, see. It's like you can never tell what anybody would be printing on their
Mm.
in their houses. Like you want some metal printer for hinges, and I could never, I could not have predicted that coming from Ian. Like, is he going to
I'm
build
not
an instrument
surprised.
of his own?
Yeah, I've been doing furniture for quite some time. Like
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
You-
Okay, so aside from Overmind stuff,
on Instagram.
oh, you're an IG guy now.
No, not anymore. Just for a while.
Ah. Or akala ko ngayon. So how
How
was
did you
that
get on
experiment?
that
Like,
TikTok?
What?
He's gonna get on TikTok now. It's like
No.
Furniture.
a chair.
or
No, you know
easier
those
in
TikTok
Facebook?
vids where they show something that like they go like that, then becomes something else.
Right,
Like he
right,
just
right.
shows like a place there, shows they
Right.
just slept, and that's like a table comes out of nowhere, like
Right.
yeah, furniture.
It's it's like that thing I shared in our Telegram group. Like Vince McMahon starts off with a mic, like "Life sucks," and then the lady from Mortal Kombat Annihilation cuts in and says, "And then you die."
You know what? I'm actually curious. Like,
Oh man.
why does TikTok work, and why did Vine not work? They're
Kind
basically
of
the
money.
same thing.
It's the same thing, but I guess it was too ahead of its time that time. And remember, the internet's not as spread out in our country compared to 2011, 2012. That's
No,
one of the
wait.
Also,
factors, I guess.
Also, there are lots of factors. One, that TikTok has a setup to make you feel like you're important, whereas Vine didn't do that.
Yeah, mine just feels like Twitter, but
More
videos.
useless.
Yeah,
And I would think
not
that
even talk about tout.
and TikTok's algorithm is really good as
Mhm.
well.
And their bot army is amazing.
Do you guys
You
TikTok?
feel like you actually
do you guys
appreciate
do
it.
that?
No,
I
no, of
actually-
course not.
Oh, I don't.
I actually downloaded it. I actually downloaded it to see what like all of the kids were into these days. And
Sure.
after scrolling
Hello,
through for-
fellow kids.
yeah, I mean,
How are you doing, you fellow young people?
So what was
So-
the
so like
discovery?
after an hour, I stopped getting all of like those weird dancey things and started getting a lot of magic and a lot of food.
Ah.
The core interests of Jao.
Yeah.
Magic and food.
Making
Yeah.
food disappear.
Food magic.
Yeah. So I mean,
Food
it was
magic.
like,
Is that a
okay,
chicken? No, it's a four of spades.
I see why it
Inside the
better.
chicken.
Eating a drumstick. Why is there a card here?
I would watch that cooking show. Cooking with magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the algorithm really
yeah.
works. The
Yeah.
algorithm really works.
Yeah, the algorithm is quite good. So it's I think it's better at keeping people on the platform for longer than Vine was because of that.
Yeah, Vine system is yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't
The
on
greatest.
Vine so I couldn't.
I don't even know what Vine is. Like I've never seen it.
I saw
It's
it was used by a couple of basketball players, but that's it.
it's
I didn't
I
see
saw the
any
most
of-
vines on YouTube, ironically.
It was basically TikTok. It's the same thing. It's 15-second videos.
True, but TikTok can go stupid long, whereas Vine really had a hard limit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Doesn't like Facebook Messenger have that 15-minute video thing? Like, what's the difference between
True,
that?
but I guess only your friends see that one, unless you have a normal setup.
Ah, I see.
that was Vine was you know how on Instagram you have those like little stories on top that you can have like
Yes,
videos?
Instagram has them too, like the short video things.
Twitter
Yeah.
has them too now.
That was what killed Vine.
There's
Mm.
wala.
Um,
I don't know.
Who was
What?
So sorry.
that?
You gotta
What
close
the
your tabs,
hell?
man.
I know, what the hell?
What was that, man?
I was just scrolling down and autoplayed. It felt like I was in Facebook.
he was
Mobile.
on Vine.
I was on Vine.
Or not Vine.
I was on-
He was
I'm
on
sorry.
TikTok. But yeah, Instagram stories I think was like the final nail in the coffin for Vine. Because that
Yep.
was what Vine was. And then Instagram comes in and is like, here's our new thing, and Vine.
And we're
tried it.
actually popular. Oh, back to there then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought Instagram stories was their answer to Snapchat.
I have no idea what all these things like.
Is Snapchat
I
that
don't
thing
know.
where people show off their like dongs, goals?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's been there for quite a while, ever since multimedia messaging happened. Like in the late
We
90s.
just changed platforms.
Yeah, we just kept getting better, like faster.
The dongles just improve in quality and in power. Like,
you get
have
a
you ever seen a
15-second
dongle
dongle.
in 4K?
HD
Before
dongle.
dongles on 144p, now
Right.
4K.
Yeah.
And next generation 8K dongles.
Yeah, 8K dongles. It used to, like through email, it used to, like you used to get to see it after 5 minutes, and now it's like, it's right there
Yeah.
immediately. So it just kept getting better.
Snapchat
Yep.
is where like Gen Z kids send dick pics to each other. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
And
I
then-
don't know. I don't
Snapchat.
understand the whole thing. It's mind-boggling though, the amount of time people have to do these things.
Well,
Yes.
especially the pandemic, you got a lot more time.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean like
And
all
talking
of a
about
sudden,
time, it's time for me to disappear for a bit. I might come back, but yeah, got to bring the girl home because curfews.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, it's curfew.
yeah.
Yeah. So I might be back. Not you guys take care. You guys stay awesome. See you
All right,
guys.
take care.
Be back.
Rico.
Okay.
Or may not. I don't know.
And on that note, we're
Welcome
on
to part
Spotify.
3.
Whoa,
Fuck.
whoa, we're 4 now. So, yeah,
Part
so
3. This is 4 of us.
I see you have a Christmas tree there. How
Yeah,
was it like setting up Christmas stuff during the pandemic?
really sad, man. Like sad. The Christmas is sad. Like I think all the events are sad because of the pandemic. Like Halloween. Halloween used to be a big thing for us, me and my family, but because of
Yeah,
the
you can't really
pandemic.
celebrate
Yeah,
it.
trick or
Yeah, right,
Mm.
right.
Ah.
But aside from those things, like it's been really. I'm actually busier now.
Productivity
No.
through the roof.
Yeah, like
Activity-wise, right?
it's amazing. I'm actually busier now than I was before the pandemic.
Because we don't have commute times anymore.
Right, and
Yeah.
there's less bullshit. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
People.
meetings
I
that could have been
feel-
emails.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Now
It is
emails.
email
Right. So I think that's a good thing. I think the whole value adjustment thing that people are going through, realizing they have a lot of stuff. They've been doing a lot of stuff, buying a lot of stuff they don't really need. They don't really need to do. I think it's a good thing for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's
don't
why
know.
I'm pro pandemic, but people are suffering, so I can't really say that.
I mean, we hope there's like a few things that the pandemic pushed forward way
Mm.
faster than before. It's just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
yung pag-digitalize ng everything basically.
Yeah.
Now we're like
Also good.
stuff like Gcash or PayMaya would have taken forever to fly off the shelves if not for the pandemic. Diba? Yung
Right.
line wallets and payments.
Mm.
And recognition for side jobs has taken off like nothing before. Like now that you have extra time, you can do a side hustle now. All right, sige, I'll
Yeah. The gig economy, that's what they call it.
Mm. That was before the pandemic, though.
Yeah.
The gig economy.
Yeah, and now it's sort of exploded because of people that don't have like 4-hour commutes anymore.
Right,
yeah.
right.
or
So,
parang yung online marketing, online marketplaces, 'di ba?
but I think there's a lot of noise too that because of all those online stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Everything's a
definitely.
marketplace now. Instagram, Facebook,
Man,
Right.
Twitter.
this podcast right here, this is adding to a lot of the noise that you see online because without the pandemic, this podcast wouldn't have been a thing.
yeah, that
Actually,
is true. Yeah.
So I'm glad we got to do this, and I'm glad you got to join us, Ian.
Thanks, man.
So what's Cyrano? What do you
Okay.
want to plug here? Overmind? Anything?
Ah,
Where can we
yeah,
catch you
well,
more?
I think Overmind has been plugging itself, through various avenues.
So
And
walk us through
I'm
the
happy to see you
furniture
guys.
thing. I haven't heard about this
Yeah,
new
Oh.
furniture shop on Instagram.
yeah.
No, it's not a shop. It's I just do stuff, and for a while I was posting what I did. Yeah, that's all. Started maybe 2 years ago. Started as a hobby, and then we got a little bit out of hand towards the end. I was spending so much on tools and stuff. But it
Or mga
was
woodworking stuff.
woodworking stuff, and and now I stopped doing it because I used to do it in Overmind, and then I don't even go there anymore. All of the business is digital now, remote, and yeah. So I miss. If there's something I miss that, like the woodworking and stuff. That I really liked it. Yeah, and it made me appreciate like good furniture. Like good furniture, like the difference between good furniture and like something that fills up the room. Is a
What's the
big-
difference for you? How would you describe yung
A good
difference?
Like if it's good furniture, I could stand on it. You know what I mean?
Uh,
I could
okay,
stand on
okay.
it, jump on it, like it wouldn't break, and it still look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bring it up kasi 'di ba IKEA's opening up soon.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Oo.
No.
Yeah.
And it's gonna definitely like create chaos in the furniture industry locally. So
Right. Well, I think there are two separate markets, and no matter how people think they overlap, I don't think they actually do. Like real furniture and the stuff like IKEA stuff. I don't think those two really overlap. Like people think they do, but they don't really overlap. They have
So
a
what's,
totally different market, for each of those. Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
different people like and usually it doesn't even come down to like the kind of upbringing or social. It's just really some people know how to look at furniture, and the others look at furniture as like stuff, things to put their stuff in, and other people look at it in a different way. They collect it. So there actually is no, for me, no, there's no sharing of market between the two. So this whole IKEA thing is a good thing for me because suddenly people who live in condos, don't have a lot of purchasing power. They can buy nice stuff. It won't last, until you're
Yeah.
until
You're gonna have to change
forever.
it out.
But yeah. But it's nice stuff. It looks good. You know.
Although I do think that when IKEA comes to the Philippines, it's not going to. It's going to be viewed as like a premium brand,
Well, probably,
but it's
because
Is it
we do
not a
have
premium brand?
Sangyong.
no, like IKEA is disposable furniture.
It is,
Essentially, that's what it is, right?
yeah.
But when it comes into the Philippines, it's probably going to be viewed as that imported shit that's like really good, and we're gonna make it last forever.
Right.
Should we call it like parang in the fashion industry, it's fast furniture, like fast fashion?
Yeah. I agree. It's something like
Kasi
that. Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
there's the whole Scandi
Yeah.
Nordic trend going on, and it's a
Mm.
very specific look, and
Mhm.
it's not gonna fit everybody,
Mhm.
but it's definitely a look. I wanna say it's a face, pero I mean I can't predict. So, but diba, parang there's other looks that are and designs and faces that we're going through, but it's definitely one that's very popular right now.
Right.
It's very IKEA driven, diba?
Minimalist. Yeah.
Uh,
I kind of like it actually. The whole Nordic look and the brutalism and all these things. And yeah, I think it's a good art wise. I've always been one for simplicity. Like actually, that's where yeah.
the minimalist contemporary is more contemporary furniture style, diba? Versus the
No, it's been
more
that's
60s kind of.
right. Well, depends what you mean by contemporary, I guess, because like the whole. I mean, Frank Lloyd Wright's been, dead for
Been
quite a
here for
long
a
time.
while.
Yeah, and that whole thing that he
He's still
did, it's just
contemporary.
it's so
Fair. Time subjective. All right.
yeah. So but I agree. The whole, and I think more. I think the utility, the whole Filipino thing,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really do utility really well. For
Really?
me,
Why
yeah,
not?
I don't know. We do arte really well, but
Mhm.
we don't do utility really well. Like the arte and utility merging, I don't think we really.
It's
You know,
para so you're saying
yeah.
it's always a clash of style or substance. It's never a
Yeah, like
complementation of both.
yeah. We've never. I don't know. Maybe because we're mixed. I don't know, culturally
Para
or something.
it either looks like the Louvre or feels like the Louvre. It's never kind of like the Louvre.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. So I don't know. Even look at local artists. I mean, it's the art. It never leans towards simplicity. Our arts. They never lean towards that.
It's over.
It's no.
It's always
This is
heavy.
this is my theory. It's because we are a poor country, right?
Uh,
And there is that need to get the most bang for your buck. So as between as between Pete Mondrian and say Jackson Pollock, like we would want the thing that has more paint on the canvas,
yeah. I agree. But I
right?
don't think that's because we're poor.
I mean, fine. Let's not say poor. It's because we like value for money, or the perception of value for
Yeah.
money.
But the Americans have the same kind of, like stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like,
Well, I don't.
cars that guzzle so much gasoline and can
I
But
mean,
it's
drive
big.
themselves, like all these things.
yeah, but as between a car that guzzles more gas and a car that can get you an insane sort of miles per gallon
Mm-hmm.
at the same price, the Filipino is going to go for the one that will get you more miles per gallon, and the American is going to go for the one that goes vroom a little bit louder.
Well, I think there is a correlation between dick size and car choice. So that depends on the person buying. I mean, I think if you regress that thing, you did the regression line, there would be some sort of correlation, and R squared probably won't go below 80. That's
There's
what
a,
I think. Like it would be a close correlation.
there's
All
a
right.
big joke about bicycle owners.
Oh my.
But yeah, I mean that's sort of my
Ah,
theory, right? Because
Mm.
okay.
there was that question that we were asking about the website of reputable media company based out of Cebu, and a lot of the comments of the
Oh,
people that were living abroad was it seems very cluttered. And
Ah,
right, because because people are used to seeing the Google front page,
right.
but I
That's
would
true.
think that the market here in the Philippines, or at the very least Cebu, is the type of market that would want to get as much as possible from the front page,
Mm.
like
So Yahoo.
as much news as possible from the front page. Yeah, like the news
What?
website, your headlines should all be there,
I think we should
regardless
stop
of
that though. I
cleanliness
think
of
we
the
should move
interface. Yeah,
away from that sort of, cultural thing, whatever
yeah.
that
I
is.
mean,
yeah.
it isn't something that
Yeah, I think it's been, the cause of so much unproductivity by the Filipino. That whole, ang dami masyadong stuff. You
Yeah.
can't focus, nothing gets done, nobody finishes anything. It's all starting stuff. Nobody really finishes it. So I think that's a bad thing. Like it's like the jeepney. They fill it up with all these
Yeah.
things, but they never fix the engine. We should really move away from that
Yeah.
There's
whole
so much
yeah.
more paint and
Yeah,
characters
exactly. I
on
mean,
the outside of the jeepney. Why do you
yeah.
need to look inside?
See, that's the thing. It's like it's becoming for me in my head at least. I know it's a bad thing, but it's becoming more and more every day. It's becoming the symbol in my head of the bad side of being a Filipino, the jeepney.
The
I guess
jeepney.
I guess it's
Yeah,
a very very
Yeah.
cultural thing because you got a front. That's a very Filipino thing.
right.
Diba?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's
It's
like
like I don't know. It's like Tagalog for me. Not that I'm against Tagalog, but when I got into
Sayas
this,
represent. Come on, let's go.
no, not because I'm Ilonggo or anything, but when I was talking to my friend, like like kids, because I homeschool my daughter, right, and she's not
Mm-hmm.
learning Tagalog yet, but she will, and
Mm.
I brought up the subject with with friends of mine that I think Tagalog. Well, Lyra brought it up actually. She's the one that said something about it. That Tagalog shouldn't be uh, required. It could be studied. It could be a elective, and it could add to your grade and stuff. But it shouldn't be required. You know.
Yeah.
And this guy said that yeah, but if we don't continue using Tagalog, we will lose our identity. And I
Okay.
really that for me that's the same argument with the jeepney. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like yeah, if there's no jeepney, we lose some sort of identity. Like what? The things we stole from Americans. Like we're gonna lose that. It's really it's so Pinoy to keep something that is inefficient, polluting, an eyesore, and then we keep it for some inane reason. Like yeah, it's part of our culture. So yeah,
Mm.
probably our culture is that it's inane, it's inefficient, and it pollutes. That's probably our culture. So it's
That calls for a
yeah.
drink.
I don't know, man. I'm going through this phase. I'm telling you, this whole pandemic thing. I'm going through this,
It's
self-culture hate thing. I'm starting to hate,
it's
my being
definitely
a
going to power the arts in some
Yes.
words.
or
We're
at
gonna
least
see
just
the effect of it later on.
I hope so. Like I hope people start thinking about that our culture is not attached to any jeepney or some sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
language. It's not. It's how we do things. And there are some good parts about being a Filipino, but a lot of it that we think are good are actually not. And people
Uh,
should start realizing that they're not.
Culture is weird
In
Yeah.
because
in
I know
yeah.
um it's a lot like language. There's that idea that there's that idea that language ought to just evolve, and the job of a person studying language is to describe language as it is, while there are
Right.
others
Right.
who would argue that language ought to be preserved So either you prescribe language or you
Mm.
describe language. And personally, being a descriptivist is something that I enjoy more and I think is overall better for the world. Culture is kind of weird in that way. No? Now, there are some people that would think that culture is something that ought to be preserved as opposed to something that is lived and dynamic.
Mm. Well, it could be preserved, like in the museum and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
but
could
then
do
that,
that.
that really isn't culture as such. That's
Yeah,
culture,
because it's dynamic. Yeah, but a
right?
record of culture, I guess,
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
Yeah.
preserved. I mean,
Amen.
spaghetti pababa pababa pababa. I mean, where would we be without that song? Diba? That song, that cultural song
Or
right there.
Bakit Papa.
I
Yeah.
remember. I remember like having
Why
a.
are these our cultural milestones?
I remember
No,
us
because
having that
you know,
discussion.
yeah, a long time ago, right?
What
These are
happened?
actually cultural milestones because you know the graffiti on the Roman walls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is a big source of how they were able to understand Roman culture. In the
Wait,
same,
so
and these were all like drawings
Yeah.
of dongs,
Dongs and stuff.
dong
so
drawings.
it's if it's so yeah. Right now
Surprise.
there's still drawings of dongs on
Yeah,
walls.
exactly. That's why they're saying that
Really?
culture doesn't really change a lot, like from one to the other.
Yeah.
Like
On the one hand,
Chaotic
Aristotle.
shape
On
is
the other hand,
eternal.
dong paintings.
dong paintings, yeah, and
Right.
yeah, and they say it's a more accurate picture of Roman culture rather than looking at Cicero's speeches. Because he's right. I mean, these people were rich, and there were few of them, and so that's probably not how everybody felt, or how everybody acted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
And that's the and that's what I'm saying, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's low culture is culture as it is.
Right.
And it's
So
not
I mean,
Yeah.
something that ought to be like preserved
Highfalutin
for some
or
sake or for some sake or for the sake of whatever is in that Republic Act that says we have to like sing the
Keep
national
our
anthem for March.
culture as is.
you know?
really,
yeah.
that's in the law.
Yeah, it's actually law
Yep.
that it's got to be as it was written or something.
Which one?
The national anthem.
The national anthem.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the national anthem I'm okay with, remaining this because it's,
I mean, like, but that's sort of the same impulse, right? The same impulse
uh,
that says that we have to do the national anthem as a march is that impulse that says, "Yo,
yeah.
we gotta maintain the jeepney."
Right, right.
Oh yeah,
And
because you're comparing like was that yung the variation and freedom of the United States anthem and its interpretations versus
Yep.
how we
Ours.
have to keep the national anthems as is note per note. Tama ba? Or is that like just
Yeah.
me
Well,
interpreting it in my own weird way?
I really don't like our national anthem.
Like
Sorry about that.
uh,
The phrasing is really weird.
lupang Well,
Yeah.
I guess it will take a stronger president siguro to ever get that. It's in the Constitution, but is it? I have no idea. Is it in the Constitution?
No. It's in a Republic Act.
If it's not in the Constitution, it
Over.
can be at some point.
Yeah.
It can be over.
I mean, if
Hello,
anything,
Drew.
it just parang if it just gives us an idea na parang we're sentimental at heart.
Yeah,
Because
we are.
we like to keep snapshots of history. Like,
Right. And
This
yet we
jeepney was-
forget.
and yeah, we forget.
Yeah,
So this chimney was left to us, and this is what we have, and we're keeping it as is. We're not making the engine more efficient.
Yeah.
We're just putting
whatever that engine was at the start, it's gonna be the
40
same
years
engine.
ago, same
'Cause-
engine.
Yeah, because culture, man. Because culture,
Yeah. Culture.
So it's
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we should stop that whole thing and stop thinking it's a good thing because we think it's a good thing. That's what's so sad about it, that we actually think it's a good thing.
I think we should,
Yeah.
parang, it's more of a traditionalist kind of view.
Mm,
Let's keep what is important as is, and then
right.
versus a more improved
Yeah.
point of view. Na let's keep evolving forward and keep making it better.
No, let's just start being able to, control the emotions and prudence. Basically, what I'm saying is prudence.
Yeah.
Why don't we just
Really
start
hard.
being prudent? You know,
Hard in the age of internet and clout,
I think it
where
should
we
be
have to
easier
be
now.
outraged. Yeah,
Actually, I think
actually,
it should be easier now. So you
weird.
have a lot of time to yourself. I mean, do something. Do
Yeah.
some exercises to become, to be able
Yes.
to manage your emotions or your decision making or all these things.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's what was it? Again, it sort of goes back to that idea of wanting to get the most value from, or the perception of, like, we have to make this thing last for as long as possible. That way, we are getting the
Maybe.
most value for money.
Mhm.
Isn't necessarily a good thing again.
Yeah,
But
it's not.
then,
Because it's like putting so much importance on money.
yeah,
That's why we're poor, because we always think about money.
I think
Yeah.
there's also that perspective na parang because we keep the jeepneys because they're a cost efficient way of
no, they're not.
providing public transportation.
No, they're not. But
No,
okay.
man. Buses are a cost efficient way. I mean, the MRT is a cost efficient
Then
way.
all right. Then why are the Calesas relegated to tourist
Intramuros.
attractions? Yeah, tourist
Because they're
attractions.
not an efficient way. I mean, they
Yeah.
shit, there's
Because
slow.
of the manure problem.
Yeah, so that's why tourists just stay with the tourists.
Jeepneys shat, we would have left them away long ago.
Yeah.
No, they shit in the air. They actually shit in the air. I mean, when they pass, like it's all black smoke, man. Like, that's one of the things I really hate the Jeep because they had decades. These people who are in the business
Yeah.
of jeepneys, they had decades to improve it, and they were making so much money. Imagine not getting taxed or paying
Oh.
a tax that is like set. It doesn't matter how much your income is. You just pay a set tax. They had
Wow.
decades to improve this. They had decades to improve this whole system, and they didn't. You know what I mean? And now we want to change it. The people want to change it because it sucks, and now they're complaining. You know, it doesn't make any. I mean, you had time, man. You guys got rich off this shit. So
Maybe
remember-
that's
what was
it.
that- what was that?
Maybe that's it. We as a culture, and this is something we can see in, like, the sachet culture, sort of, where we don't really look to the future.
Yeah, we
Like,
don't, because it's all emotional. That's what I'm saying. It's that whole prudence thing. That's how it works. If you start making decisions using your head, you start looking to the future. But that's never gonna happen if we keep thinking that Andres Bonifacio would have made a better leader just because Matipuno, Guerra, whatever, fuck. If we keep thinking that guy would have been a better leader because he never thought, he just felt, you know, that's that whole thing. That's what's causing this entire thing. That's why we vote the way we do. Cory dies and then we vote Pinoy. Come on. And what did the guy do? Absolutely nothing, because he never really wanted to run in the first place.
there we go.
So maybe the lesson here is that the culture has
Yeah.
left us with these milestones, and the milestones are a symptom of the problem.
No, the culture is the problem, I think. The culture is the problem. The way we think, the way we put value on things that shouldn't be valuable.
There we go. That's it.
You know
That's
what I
it.
mean? Yeah. Like,
Our perception of value is skewed,
yes,
And it's-
it doesn't. It's
and
so
it just
selfish.
gets inherited across generations.
Yeah, across generations.
Yeah, because that's the very definition of culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all these Filipinos keep learning Tagalog and learning Tagalog through the culture, and I've never seen Tagalog getting any better. I mean, it's probably getting worse because of all the, Jejemon stuff and whatnot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So, I don't know what that's about. So,
But if anything, Tagalog is being too regulated.
yeah, it should be freer. It should be freer,
should
and it
be
should
freer.
be. I mean, Paul Dumo said it best. If you want Tagalog to be taken seriously as a language, you have to keep translating. real translating, how the Germans did it from Latin. Because what we do is we really just import the English word and then we change the spelling,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
But
what I
then,
mean?
but then what's it? But then didn't English do that with like French and um
Yeah, but
English does
English
that
is
quite a
a
bit.
but it's a pretty old language coming from,
So are we going to be like
Germanic.
racing?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Migo. So are we going to be like petitioning for Taglish to be recognized as an evolution, as a next
Okay.
evolution of Tagalog?
Well, I
Because we
don't
What
keep
have I stepped
importing.
into?
Well, for me, just don't make it a requirement. Just don't make it a requirement. Why
Yeah.
are you making it a requirement? I don't understand. Our laws are in English.
Wait,
Business language is
Taglish a
English.
requirement? What's going on?
No, Tagalog for kids.
Tagalog.
Oh yeah,
to
no, that's
learn.
bullshit.
Education.
Yeah.
We're
So
talking about culture.
so for me,
What
just stop
culture?
making it a requirement. People who want to learn it will learn it.
People want to learn it.
Yeah, like it's like that.
He's
whole-
fighting the mandatory nature of Tagalog in education.
Oh no, that should be
Yeah.
gone.
See?
I mean, I
Yeah.
like how the office, based in the area where it's from, they said we are going to conduct research in the country. We found out that people speak this. You mean the thing you speak? Yes, everyone speaks that.
Totally. Isn't that the Mick, did you have to take Filipino for foreign students?
Heck yeah, I'm from the Republic of Cebu.
Whoa. You're FFS? Nice.
Hell
I mean, like,
yeah.
here's the thing.
I
right?
wanted to take
Wait,
FFS, but they
Wait,
know I
people
took
from Manila
Tagalog,
don't
so-
take Filipino. They don't take Filipino.
Huh?
People from Manila.
I mean,
No,
we
they
do.
They do.
Ah,
We do, but we took normal Filipino. Some took FFS.
I know. I
In
think I
fairness,
took normal
it
It
Filipino.
really worked better for me because so many people there, goddamn, they have a passport, but they've lived in Manila all their lives.
I mean,
I
here's the
know.
In
thing.
my class said,
Feel
I know
jealous.
you. I've seen you outside talking like everyone else.
Right.
Here's
Like
the
I
thing-
had a
here's the thing with
classmate in
Filipino.
high school. We had Filipino class for the past 4 years in high school. Then she goes in UAP and she goes to FFS. I'm like, you get higher
Ouch.
grades than me. What the hell?
Wait, so we're talking about college. We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about college. I was talking about like
Filipino-
elementary and shit, man. They teach.
Oh, all of
it's
it
a
should be gone.
requirement. It's a requirement.
Yeah. No, I mean, like the thing that people fail to see really is that whether or not you teach a language in school, people will learn the language.
Yeah, if it's spoken enough.
If it's spoken, people
They'll
will.
learn the language of the area they're in, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we never had to study Cebuano in any of our.
Me too.
classes.
Like I picked up Ilonggo in school. I didn't pick it up at home because we spoke English at home. So when I went to school,
yeah.
that's when I started learning Ilonggo. And so imagine that I was learning Ilonggo and Filipino at the same time.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, at the same
think I
time,
know.
the thing I wish is that Tagalog actually had use outside of Manila. I mean, if it's one of those languages where like it's a business language, it's a
Right,
political
yeah,
language,
yeah.
something.
Then yeah,
But no,
make
it's just like it's
yeah.
here. Like,
Mm.
so where do you speak this? Here, and that's kind of it.
And-
Why do I need to
Yeah.
learn you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, so we go abroad and start speaking Tagalog. You know what I mean? Like,
I would have been more. I'll be honest. If they required us to learn French, at least it has
Yeah.
more use for me.
but that's the thing, man. Even the French are learning English. And
Yeah.
they're the French. You know what
It's
I
a-
mean? Like they're so proud of their language. And these guys have enough humility. You know what I mean? Start learning English. And it's not like French isn't used abroad. I mean,
More so than Tagalog.
pre-Vietnam
Yeah.
War Vietnam.
I mean, Migo makes a good point.
Algeria.
Algeria, yeah.
Wherever colonies
Cote
were,
d'Ivoire.
you can somewhat speak it
Cote
here.
d'Ivoire.
That's
Right.
why English is so strong, because the Brits taught everything.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
You will assimilate our language. We shall take your food and culture back home, though.
You know, the Spanish could have done it as well. I mean, they could have had that sort of impact.
True, but the
They
fires
did.
would rather the population not learn
Yeah.
proper Spanish.
Yeah.
Bro,
kept
They
killing
tried,
them
but
off.
very specific people.
Dude. English is the most spoken language in the world. The second most spoken language is Spanish.
Spanish, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hola.
we missed that by this much.
Mm.
At one point, the world was split.
right? And
between Barcelona and between like Portugal and Spain.
Can you
yeah,
imagine
but
what
then
kind
like
of like
because of South America, and you know that the Philippines did speak quite a bit of Spanish until the nationalists got a hold of the country.
Yeah, that's true. Well, until America got involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until America got involved.
And then the
the-
Spanish gave the Spanish out. Okay, we don't want to lose against the locals. Can we lose to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Real job
but-
to you.
But there,
The
like,
first WWE match was, Spain versus America. Okay, this time I'm gonna take the fall, go in like yes, and you're the winner.
yeah.
Here's the
Same
belt.
thing. Yeah.
so you're telling me that the chances of us becoming a Spanish English primarily speaking country was this small and we missed it.
Pretty much,
sort
yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think we would have been closer to like a Mexico,
Yeah.
where the lingua franca would have been Spanish.
Spanish.
English
But like a
would
really
be,
weird Spanish.
No, probably something more like Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
Something closer to Puerto Rico. Yeah.
I have never been to either one of those places.
No, I haven't been there.
yeah.
So,
But
just-
like Spanish,
I've
is
seen-
lingua franca.
yeah, and I've watched this interview by Conan when he went to Puerto Rico, so I learned a lot of stuff about. The guy's
Windows to the world.
funny. Yeah.
Conan O'Brien,
That's how I learned my geography. Conan O'Brien.
not the Animaniacs song. That's where I learned that.
I learned mine from video games.
I have this fun thing I do with my daughter now. Part of her class because she's homeschooled, right? And we have this one lesson. It takes like 10 minutes where she chooses a spot on the globe, and then we look at it through Google Earth. And it's
Oh,
kinda
okay. I
cool.
thought she picks
Yeah.
what. Now
that's
tell
pretty
us,
cool.
is this French, British, or a Spanish colony?
Now that comes in high school, like hegemony and all these empire buildings thing.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
actually just a cool thing.
Points to England. That was a French
it's her-
colony.
It's her favorite. It's her favorite class.
Back when they were the Franks.
Yeah, back when they were the Franks.
Then they discovered butter.
And
Or
sugar,
at least
right?
according to
What was it?
John, that was
Sugar,
the fall
right?
of the French. The fall of the French was the discovery of butter.
John
Yep.
got that from Ian.
You
What?
did?
Which one?
The downfall of the French being the discovery of the pastry.
Did
Oh my
it?
God.
The
have
croissant
no-
was the downfall of the French.
like the discovery of sugar or something.
They had too much of a good time.
Yep. The greatest general was not French; he was Corsican.
But yeah, I think the downfall of all monarchy is the unwillingness to adapt.
I
It's
thought
really
sugar.
that, if there's
Diabetes.
Sugar.
Diabetes.
I remember. I don't know. Like one drunken evening with Ian, I remember that it was like it was because of sugar, the discovery of the pastry. That's when the Franks became the French.
The Franks became the French.
Oh,
They used to be warriors.
Now they're just
Now
fat.
they're yeah.
Like I
They're
love how
all
looking
chefs.
the old imagery of the Musketeers. What
Right.
I grew up the Musketeers being like, oh, these really thin, cool, like
Right,
athletic
right,
guys. I
right,
saw the
right,
original.
yeah.
Then I saw the original drawings. Like, oh, they're just a bunch of like fat guys with guns.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
right. And you know what I found? What I found so funny was the musketeer uniform. Like it's supposed to hide the body, right?
Yep.
It's supposed to make the body look bigger. So when you stab at them, you're not really sure if you're hitting a part. But if you're that fat, you'll probably hit
got me
something.
in the gut.
So the entire costume was
They probably saw it as like aspirational, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the size that we have to be.
That was the ideal male figure at the time.
Yeah, it was
Look,
fat.
I am not
Everybody was
going
poor,
hungry.
right?
Yeah,
Aren't
everybody
I
was
awesome?
Hey man,
Yeah.
the Greeks did it. He's like,
The Greeks did many things.
poor. Yeah, I was just reading about them.
That's true.
And God, those people, crazy people. The
I love
Greeks.
how the Musketeers were essentially killing each other off because they kept having duels with each other, and that's the only way apparently you ranked up as a Musketeer was to duel another Musketeer.
So
But
they
it's
were
okay,
pretty
the
horrible
everybody-
system.
every-
so they were
everybody was
original
doing
Highlanders.
In a weird way, it's like you want to be a higher musketeer, you have to kill another musketeer.
The only way to get a Grand Musketeer is for every other musketeer to die.
Pretty much. It was a horrible system because you realized we're losing members. I wonder why.
Because you had to beat them in single combat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they would like duel each other for like the dumbest reasons. Like before, it'd be like, "Oh, you have smited my honor." It's like now you have spilled my sugar. I am not going to stab you.
And that's how the
honor-
Franks
honor-
became the French.
The French, yeah. But honor was a big thing, before. Was really big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll move a bit.
It was a big thing until they became bigger than it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
now, how Facebook is a big thing. You know what I mean? Like I think if people from the past saw us and look at how we were spending our time, they'd probably ask the same question. What's up with Facebook? What is this thing? Why is it so important? What's up? You probably have that.
Like, who cares? Ano yun yung...
I'll be telling them, there's something called fried butter. You should try that stuff.
Yeah.
We took what you made and made it more awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Wait,
there's
Martin.
also that... No, yes, Martin.
What was
no.
that all about?
No, he just moved.
Uh,
I
Oh.
grabbed my other phone just in case.
Are you
someone
going to
was
have a
calling.
second angle now? Oh.
or
Split screen.
or do we need to bring out a GoTed?